Module 4, The Fall. Man rejects God's rulership. So in Module 3, we talked about creation and all of the awesome kind of features that were part of the creation process, right? We talked about the 6 days of creation. We talked about, actually, let's just summarize it, because I like to just kind of check back in on what we did in the previous module as kind of our setup for where we're going. So we looked at the days of creation, right? And we talked about how this phrase in Genesis 1:2 that says that the earth was without form and void. We talked a lot about what that means, right? What does that concept mean, right? Because understanding that gives us a framework on how the days, the specific days of creation. Last time we talked about we asked the question, are these 24-hour days, or do they represent larger time periods, right? No definitive answer on that, but what's interesting about the way that they are structured, whether they are 24-hour days or time periods, is that they kind of seem to they kind of have a natural match, as we talked about in the previous module. If you want to learn more about that, just head back and review that. But they also respond to the state of the world, in that it was without form and void, because the days they actually respond to that. They bring structure and they bring content. So the structure is meant to respond to the world being without form, and the content is to respond to the world being void. And so after the 6th day of creation, the world is no longer without form and it is no longer void. It has structure and it has content, right? And then we talked a lot about the 7th day, how it has special significance, some of the interesting things about the 7th day of creation, right? But more than anything, I think the main idea of creation itself and where it fits in the Bible is simply that creation is a backdrop. It's a backdrop for God's main focus and main interest, because the Bible, though it does have science in it, is not a science book, right? It's not intended to be that. Though whatever it talks about regarding science obviously is going to be true, but the intention of the book is not really to give us a full exposition of science. Creation is a backdrop for God's main focus, and God's main focus is mankind. So now we're going to start to really dive into mankind and everything that kind of comes with that. The story from here on forward really doesn't focus on science that much at all, and it really focuses mostly on man. So where are we going now? Well, we are now in Module 4, and in Module 4, we're going to just go look all about this idea of the fall. What does it mean that man has rejected God's rulership, right? So let's get into it. So let's go in the next unit. We're going to start off with the intention, why God created man.